Hello, everybody, and welcome. I will be introducing Dr. Ray Fremista, who will be presenting Best Practices of Philippine Award Universities. He is the PSQ president. He was an assessor of the Global Performance Excellence Award and lead assessor of the Philippine Quality Challenge, Philippine Quality Award. He appeared in local international conferences, either as a resource speaker, keynote speaker, or a judge assessor. He has an extensive list of achievements and awards, including Philippines Top 30 Leaders on LinkedIn, Top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn, Global Leaders Award, Excellence in Leadership, Global Educators Award, Innovation, Angel Opna Award, Quality Excellence, Young Researchers Award, Best Paper Presenter, International Business Research Conference, Marketing in Asia's list of 70 rising in LinkedIn. I'm still going. Titan Excellence Award and APQO International Individual Award, Quality International Award. Welcome, Dr. Ray.
Thank you so much, Matthew. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for such introduction. Let me share my screen right now. All right, looks like everyone is seeing my screen. Can you confirm, Matthew?
I can see it.
You do? Okay, that's amazing. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here with you today. What a wonderful day to all of you, wherever you're part of the world. Let's jump into the agenda that I prepared for you for today's session. So first in our agenda is that I'll share with you very quickly on what the Philippine Quality Award or PQA is all about and why is it important for us here in the Philippines. And the second one is that I selected some of the key best practices from the different universities that applied PQA and won the different levels of recognition in the PQA framework. Now, let me play a very short clip on the Philippine Quality Award.
We are always looking for innovative ways to invigorate our businesses and organizations and ensure that they are performing and improving to a globally accepted standard of excellence. National and economic development are hinged on our ability to innovate on the constant development of better ways to deliver goods and services, and on our ability to foster an environment for inclusive industries. The Philippine Quality Awards seek to recognize notable Philippine organizations and ensure that they are performing to a globally accepted standard of excellence.
The Philippine Quality Awards is a form of recognition to be given by the President para ma-recognize yung mga magagaling natin na mga kumpanya that exhibit excellence and quality, and so that they can also become the role model. They can inspire other companies to do the same. At the end of the day, we all want all our companies to always have this mindset na kailangan talaga we always give our best.
It is the highest level of recognition for organizational performance based on an internationally accepted framework of world-class excellence. It is not an award for product or service quality, but for a quality management system. Any organization in the private and public sectors located and operating in the Philippines are eligible to apply for the award. These organizations go through an independent and rigorous assessment process based on 11 core values that scrutinize their processes on leadership, strategy, customer, measurement analysis and knowledge management, workforce, operations, and performance results. The best of the best will receive the highest honor and will be awarded the Philippine Quality Award for Performance Excellence. To win this, the organization must demonstrate the highest level of management excellence, deserving to be a national and global role model. Organizations can also qualify for other recognitions, including the recognition for commitment to quality management, recognition for proficiency in quality management, and the recognition for mastery in quality management. We invite all public and private organizations to apply for the Philippine Quality Award. Together, let's elevate the quality of our organizations and aim for world-class excellence.
All right. So to encourage organizations in the public and private sectors here in the Philippines and to achieve excellence in quality throughout the production and or delivery of their goods and services, an act establishing the Philippine Quality Award was passed. So the PQA is the highest degree of national recognition right here in the Philippines for exceptional organizational performance. So PQA advocates the performance excellence framework. That's an integrated performance management strategy that was inspired by the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. And I know most of you are familiar with Malcolm. And that's, I believe at this point, you need to know more about PQA. And now let me start sharing some of the best practices from the different universities that applied for PQA. Let me start with the number one. Leaders of PQA recipient universities are forward-thinking, visionary leaders. Senior leaders set an example for others through their moral conduct, unwavering dedication, and hands-on involvement in the organizational planning, coaching, human resource motivation, and performance evaluation. These universities use a variety of strategies to communicate their vision, their mission and values to all relevant parties. As an example, the vision, mission, and values were implemented through the different types of trainings, orientation, information sharing, and participation in various initiatives and activities. So through that excellent instruction, a flexible learning environment, and a commitment to provide the best education possible for its students, the vision, mission, and values aid in the realization of growth plans of these universities. And as role models, they help the organization grow in leadership, commitment, and initiative while reinforcing ethics, values, and expectations. It contributes to sustaining success, which calls for controlling environmental uncertainty and juggling stakeholders' immediate needs with the organization's stakeholders' long-term objectives. Leaders demonstrate the core value of visionary leadership, responsive and conscious of the organization's societal responsibility, dedicate resources to diligently fulfill beyond compliance the comprehensive government requirements and to meet the quality standards in its operations. Such requirements include, say, for instance, the Philippine statutory and regulatory requirements, government directives and policies applicable to universities, the university internal policies and processes, in accreditation and international standards for achieving quality in education, research, and general operations. In addition to that, deployment and cycles of learning are evidenced by numerous tangible results, such as the trust-based culture which exists where the workforce appreciates the senior leaders' efforts to walk the talk and in their embodying of leadership with heart. So when I say walking the talk, I was referring to leaders being role models in their fulfillment of personal obligation through their compliance with the government. Like, say, for instance, we have what we call the SALN, or the Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, that they have to submit that. Income tax return as well, Form 2316, and so forth. Moreover, universities have been exemplary in its deployment and learning, and some of the things that can prove the statements are: we have, number one, we have the successful implementation of its governance structure, and that's according to the Republic Act 8292, where the organizations enjoys a reputations of integrity in the industry. The second one is its internally developed platforms responsive to the needs of internal external stakeholders, and that's evident to the Republic Act 11032, and that's the ease of doing business right here in the Philippines. The third one is its implementation of structured HR practices mandated and recommended by the Civil Service Commission, which is one of the agencies right here. And next one is implementation of system-based teacher evaluation to ensure quality instruction, We also have adequate resource allocation for empowering employee performance, favorable ratings in external quality assessments and accreditation for X number of years, and a couple more other items, say for instance, the proactive conduct of internal audits and management reviews to prepare for the regular external audits, follows through with the management reviews and organizational action. And we also have the active contribution of numerous relevant value-adding support to the societal well-being of communities. So these universities, or the commitment of these universities to exemplary corporate citizenship, recruiting and developing highly qualified expert or faculty researchers, and achieving business excellence through continuous quality improvement demonstrates the core values of visionary leadership, valuing people, ethics, and transparency, and its focus on success. That continuous effort to maintain organizational integrity may solidify its foundational trust-based culture, essential for sustainable workforce engagement and high performance, and for strengthening its competitive position in becoming a regional research center in the future. So that's our number one. The second best practice that I can share with you, when I was looking into the different documents when it comes to the applications for the Philippine Quality Award, would be this: focusing on success that's demonstrated by the PQA recipient universities. They craft a comprehensive, or a very comprehensive, development plan that considers all stakeholders' inputs through FGDs, or the focus group discussions or dialogues, internal and external scanning, and the monitoring and evaluation. They align with the goals of the Philippine Development Plan, as well as what we call the Ambition Natin 2040, or if I translate that in English, so that's our vision of 2040 right here in the Philippines. They align it with that specific vision on social and economic development. And that helps us ensure ongoing success, which requires managing uncertainty in the environment and balancing some of the stakeholders' short-term demands with the organization and stakeholders' needs to invest in long-term success. And these universities employ a robust and well-structured strategic planning process for developing and aligning not just the short term, but also the long-term action plans, which with strategic plans anchored on the organization's mission and vision. Its strategic planning process has undergone cycles of improvement, drawing inputs from a wide range of relevant stakeholder groups. So that specific process on its strategic planning really provides perspective and facilitates the university's proper identification of its strategic challenges, while leveraging its strategic advantages within a clearly defined priority thrusts areas of instruction, of research and development, extension and training, and resource management. The university's organizational structure, moreover, mirrors the thrusts areas to ensure a balanced and effective management and operationalization of action plans supported with the adequate resources. These universities as well have also successfully forged local community and government partnerships, as well as strategic linkages with overseas academic research institutions for collaborative work, benchmarking, and also the transfer of technology. So with its established approach to organizational planning and implementation, these universities demonstrated operational flexibility, especially during this unprecedented time during the pandemic, characterized by unforeseen environmental changes, and tackled matters through its existing consultative system of council meetings, both at the college and university levels. These universities developed a catch-up plan to complete the interrupted semester. It also formulated a new education service program. It's a plan to support the workforce and students in the new set of conditions. The universities managed to some sort of pivot its educational programs and services with the deployment of the learning continuity plan, your public service continuity plan, your online learning platforms, and it's automated it's also automated some of its important areas in operations with IT systems, and supported its workforce with the necessary training based on the assessed needs. And In addition, the universities dealt with its apparent workforce overcapacity in this period by really encouraging affected workforce members to use the time to further their professional development, thereby strengthening the organization's core competencies to prepare for its future operations. The third one is really more about the university support the core value of valuing people. It has an engaged human resource that benefits from meaningful work, clear organizational direction, the opportunity to learn, accountability for performance, and a trusting and cooperative environment. They ensure that there's a systematic recruiting, hiring, selection, and retaining human resource based on the civil service guidelines and approved competency of the university. They have a variety of human resource engagement programs. For example, the program to institutionalize meritocracy and excellence in human resource management. It may help them to accomplish action plans and ensure that the organization's success now and in the future. Another thing in here that I would want to add would be these universities allocate resources in creating the proper conditions to support the workforce and student productivity. Among such listening and productivity support mechanisms include what we call the SACARIA. SACARIA stands for Student Automated College Admission Registration Information and Content System, which supports various student services and workforce support processes. We also have the Client Satisfaction Survey, or CSS, for students, and there's also the CSS for research and development. There's a Citizens Charter for frontline service anchored on ISO and its performance improvement system. To add to that, the universities demonstrated flexibility by successfully pivoting from the pandemic and channeling its resource to adjust its support services and platforms to meet the changing client requirements. It managed to develop and adapt new technologies and upgrade existing ones to automate selected key processes and customer touch points. The presence of these mechanisms reinforces the university's commitments to its mission of providing responsive community engagement and inclusive growth with the support of technological resources. The next one is these universities as well demonstrate customer-focused excellence through various systematic approaches. And these approaches include those for listening to customers through the involvement of students and alumni in policy making, focus group discussions, the CSS or client satisfaction surveys, the university's website, the social media for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and adoption of a flexible and blended mode of teaching and learning. So it can be the synchronous and asynchronous. The organization's presence in the internet makes data and information such as degree and non-degree program offerings and accreditation levels, the laboratory facilities, research extension programs, and the local and foreign partners and linkages readily available to the students and external clients. And that enables the organizations to deal with honesty and transparency with students, suppliers, with partners and stakeholders in a user-friendly format. The next one would be these universities as well live the core value of managing for innovation in its initiative to develop and implement technology tools to support its internal requirements and customer services. For example, some of these universities leverage its competency strength in information communication technology or ICT in developing technologies in a way that provides a best practice model for other universities. And further, in its research and development trust area, these universities are also actively manage for innovation and its focus on research and innovation on new technologies for community and national development. For example, some of these universities have various ongoing projects, say for instance, in agriculture related projects, water infrastructure projects, and so forth. And to add to that, these universities as well are cognizant of the importance of intelligent process design as a basis for technology effectiveness and relevance. For example, the universities make use of the MADV. I know some of you are Six Sigma practitioners, and the MADV is most likely you're familiar with it. So the MADV does define, measure, analyze, design, and verify in the creation of the new processes. And that's essential in maintaining that viable quality management system. And this process design thinking approach has many applications in various areas of work. Say, for instance, in implementing the pre-training and post-training surveys to ensure that learning and development interventions are relevant and should result in transfer of training in the workplace, considering of process improvements and cost management in the design and rollout of processes and so forth. And the last one will be when it comes to this specific best practices that the university's competency in process design, technology development and implementation contribute to its operational effectiveness and organizational learning and agility, which may help sustain and improve its current achievements in delivering value and results to customers and stakeholders, leading to the attainment of its mission and develop globally competitive human technological resources and services. The universities, the next one, demonstrated a fact-based systematic evaluation and improvement of some of its processes. For example, the organization's vision undergoes revision to or during the board meetings. The senior leaders' performance vis-a-vis operational plans and targets are evaluated during monthly board meetings. The long and short-term plans are revised as the need arises, like the COVID-19 pandemic. The budget utilization rate is monitored and reviewed during the mid-year, year-end annual management review and planning. Information from listening channel is discussed as well during the biannual management review meetings to improve instruction services, effectiveness and efficiency, and conflict resolution. There's also the process for identifying best practices through annual reports. We also have different types of fora, conferences, accreditation, documents, the in-house training, and through the communication methods and divisions exceeding performance projections or mechanisms to also to ensure that they can share best practices and high performance. This also includes the evaluations are performed to ensure that hardware and software are reliable, secure, and user-friendly by ensuring that all software and hardware needed for the operations are available and within the standard specification as required by the operations. Another one is the learning and development effectiveness in the institutions that I studied. They're evaluating that learning and development based on Kirkpatrick's 4-level evaluation model. The program offerings and services are reviewed through the voice of the customer or VOC. We also have the environmental scanning, the feasibility study, consultations with IT experts for the IT-related processes, periodic review of process designs, evaluation of the suppliers. That's also carried out by end users and personnel in the supply office, and the suppliers are likewise evaluated in terms of the quality, warranty, the timeliness, and other factors. So these types of systematic evaluations provide clarity and directions to the university, and this may help senior leaders in their decision-making towards the attainment of the organization's strategic goals and objectives. Next one is the universities demonstrate the system's perspective as they manage their key processes to achieve results. For example, the senior leaders set the vision and the values during the university's strategic planning process following the leadership framework. Its strategic planning process includes the 5-step built around a PDCA that involve its key stakeholders, their partners and suppliers and collaborators, as well as the workforce from all campuses. Your short and long-term goals are cascaded and deployed to all units and monitored quarterly for agility and annually for improvement, which allows the universities to strengthen its core competencies. Divisions in the campuses implement plans and targets, including the follow-through activities, and cascaded to all, including suppliers and partners, through memos, meetings, letters, and publication on the website as well. They also ensure the availability of organizational data and information through the university's various information systems on their website. They invest on equipment as, say, for instance, you have the gensets, network equipment and software to ensure the availability of data for its stakeholders. They also determine key work processes following the 5 steps in the PDCA cycle and engage in their key stakeholders, their partners, their suppliers, and by adopting and other collaborators as well as the workforce. Their work processes are improved by adapting, as I've shared earlier, the PDCA cycle to address issues and concerns. And lastly, they control the overall cost of their operations through its budget preparation mechanism where key stakeholders are consulted again. So this core value of systems perspective enables these organizations to address its challenges and leverage on its advantages and achieve the mission and the vision and performance excellence. The universities have systematic approaches that demonstrate valuing human resources in partners. So that's this next best practice I was able to spot. So that include the practice of open door policy and survey on the level of open communication of top management. Second one is the recognition of employees and their laudable contribution to the organization. And the third one is the provision of a safe and secure workplace environment with free transportation program. Number four is identifying the needs of stakeholders through systematic review and evaluation of the gaps in the current and expected performance. And the fifth one is they manage the supply chain guided by the Republic Act 9184. So these types of mechanisms may help the organizations to attain its targets and its strategic objectives through an engaged workforce and strong ethical culture. The next one I want to share with you is that these universities as well have systematic approaches that demonstrate management by fact. So that includes conducting stakeholders consultation meetings and benchmarking activities to determine the programs and service offerings. The number two would be the performance reviews, the monthly performance reports, institutional performance and capabilities. The third one is sharing of best practices. The fourth one is managing its organizational knowledge through the knowledge management process. And the last one, the fifth one, is ensuring the availability of organizational data and information through its various information systems. So these approaches that I was able to share with you may ensure senior leaders decide to improve their performance through their attainment of their targets and objectives based on actionable and reliable information. And a couple more before I end my presentation would be another key best practice would be this one. These universities they have the commitment to uphold organizational excellence. The university's academic programs undergo the rigorous accreditation and leveling processes. In addition, there is a continuous pursuit of external certifications such as the Integrated Management System or the IMS and deliberate efforts to sustain a high level of regulatory compliance. Next one is the universities contribute to and support its key communities through the multiple programs focused on social and economic well-being, which include the conduct of livelihood programs, educational and consultancy services, technical assistance. You also have the outreach activities, the partnership with various government and non-government organizations to help sustain, implement the programs. And they also have the regular review of their research and extension agenda. There are also compliance to environmental laws and regulations and implementation of environmental programs and energy conservation measures. Another thing is the areas of support are determined through the needs assessment referrals and requests and evaluated by gathering customer inputs and benchmarking for improvement. And these approaches align with the university's commitment to be the champions in community development. And the last one that I was able to get based on the different types of applications in the Philippine Quality Award is this one. I can share with you that the university support personal learning and provides developmental opportunities for its workforce through their own roadmaps. Which details the development plan for the university's personnel, their faculty and executives. And that translates into the HR development plan. They also conduct a training needs assessment survey, and that allows HR to design its three-tiered development plan for the universities, the faculty, the personnel, executives. A self-assessment pattern after the Kirkpatrick model facilitates evaluation of learning effectiveness, and in an annual review during the university planning ensure or ensures the continual improvement and sustainability of the different plans. The robust support of the personal learning for the workforce may help support the university's commitment to provide high quality instruction or education through qualified, competent, and adequately trained faculty members and support staff. So those are the key best practices that I can share with you with the limited time allotted for the talk. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope there is something or maybe one thing that you can take away from my presentation that you can use with your own organization. So thank you so much, everyone.